Let's go to page 174 and start with number 1. Okay, you have 15z to the 3 minus 60z squared. So when you're doing the factoring, make sure you go through the checklist. So don't just go in any step randomly. So start with step 1. So step 1 is common factor. So you have to factor the common factor. So factor the 15, and then you can factor the z squared. And the leftover would be z minus 4. And once you see no more square inside, then you're done. Okay, so this is it. Okay, let's go to number 3. You have x squared minus 121. Okay, so again, step 1, common factor, cannot, that's nothing you can do. So you go to step 2. So when you got two terms, you look for difference of square. So you have square minus square. So this is the 2a. So you break into conjugates. So you do the plus and do the minus. So you're going to get x times x give you x squared, plus times minus give you minus, 11 times 11 give you 121, and that's it. Number 5, you have a squared plus 26a plus 169. So you can go through your checklist. Step 1, common factor. No, that's not in for you to factor. So you go to step 2. So you got 3 terms. You check for the perfect square. So 3 terms you check for the perfect square. Now to qualify for that, this has to be a square. This has to be a square. So in this case, this qualifies. So let's check. Again, right now you're just doing the guessing. Okay, you try to guess. So go and get your template ready and go and fill in the blanks. Okay, so from here you're going to need to have a to the square give you a squared. Now from here you can do either way. You can take half of that or you can take square root of that. Okay, so normally so you can do it either way. So to keep track of the sign, probably easier if you just take half of that. So if you take half of that, will give you plus 13, okay, and you square, okay. So 13 squared give you 169, okay. Or you can do you can try to use this to get that. So 13 squared give you 169, and the middle term came from multiply this together. So 2 times 13 is 26 times a give you 26a. So when everything checks, that means your guess is correct, and that would be your answer. Let's go to number 7. Okay, you have 12x to the 3 minus 3x. Okay, so again, when you're doing the factoring, go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor, you can factor the 3 and the x. So you're going to get 4x squared minus 1. So now you're done with step 1, you go to step 2. So now you got 2 terms. So 2 terms, you check for the difference of square. So in this case, yes, this is square, square, square. So that is the step 2a. Now don't forget your part 1. Okay, so from here you're going to get 2 set of parentheses. So to get 4, you're going to get 2 times 2. 2 times 2 give you 4. X times x give you x squared. Plus times minus give you minus. 1 times 1 give you 1. Okay, and so that's it. Okay, let's go to number 9. You have 4t squared minus 12t plus 9. Okay, so go to your checklist. Okay, step 1, common factor. There's nothing in common to factor out. So step 2. Let's check for the, so you got 3 terms, so check for the trinomial square or the perfect square. So this is a square, 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 so it qualifies, so let's do that. So to get 4, I need a 2, right? 2 squared give me 4, and to get t squared, I need to get t. And to match the middle term, the sign has to be a minus. So to get 9, I need to get 3, right? So negative 3 squared give me 9. So again, from this I get that, from this I get that, from this I get that. And the sign, so now you have to check, see if it matches the middle. So sign match, number 2 times 2 times 3 give you 12, and the alphabet is t. So everything match. So this is it. Okay, number 11. you got 81a squared minus 9b squared. Again, it's very tempting to just go and jump right into step 2, but make sure you do step 1 first. So step 1, you have to factor out the 9. So you get 9a squared minus b squared. And then you go to step 2b, right, 2 times. You check for the difference of square. Okay, so you're going to get 3 times 3 give you 9. A times a give you a squared. Plus times minus. So I like to put a plus first. That way you kind of cut down on careless mistakes later on. So plus times minus give you minus. B times b give you b squared, and that's it. Okay, let's go to 13. Okay, you have u cubed plus 27. So go through the step. So this is very obvious, but just kind of go through the step very quickly. Step 1, common factor. I cannot, right? So step 2, difference of square. Now this is for square, right? This is cube. So right away you know that it's going to be this one. So it's going to be the sum of the cube. Now if this is not as obvious, then what you want to do is you can do this way. Okay, so make it a bit easier to factor. And then when you factor the cube, you get one set of small parentheses, run up with that, and you're going to get a set of bigger parentheses. Okay. Now for the first set, all you have to do is just get rid of the cube. See that? So you're going to get u plus 3. Okay. So this is like the first power. This is going to be the second power. Now the rest of it is kind of fairly easy to remember, because to get cube you need the square, right? U times u squared give you u cubed. And the 3, you need to, so from here you can use this one, so you need to get plus 9 or 3 squared, right? 3 times 9 give you 27 or 3 cubed. Okay, now when you start to distribute, you're going to get a lot of middle terms. So to cancel out the middle term, you have to have the opposite of that, so it'd be minus 3u. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to number 15. Okay, number 15, you have x squared minus 20xy plus 100y squared. Okay, so you can go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor. That's not in common to factor. So you go to step 2, 3 terms, you check for the perfect square. Okay, so spatial factor, 3 terms, check for the perfect square. So this is a square, this is a square, so that's going to get a template ready. So from this, I'm going to get x. From this, I need to get, so because the middle is minus, so I need to get a minus. But to get that, I need to get 10y, right? Because 10 squared is 100, and then y squared is y squared. So again, you're just guessing right now, so you need to check, see if your guess is correct. So the way to do it is check see if the middle term match. So the way to do it is, again, first match the sign, so negative match. Number 2 times 10 is 20, and the alpha, beta, x, and the y, so match. And so this is it. Okay, number 17. You got 9s, 3 to t minus 6s squared t squared plus st cubed. Okay, so again, every factoring problem, you just go through the steps. So step 1, common factor. So you need to factor out the s and t. So you're going to get 9s squared minus 6st plus t squared. Okay, then after that you go to step 2. Okay, so got 3 terms, so you check for perfect square. So this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square. So that's going to try see if it works. Okay, so this one I need a 3, I need the s. This one I need to t, and to match in the middle I need to have a minus. Okay, so now you have to check. So negative match, 2 times 3 match with 6. You got s and t, so everything match. Right, again, middle term came from multiply this together, so it'd be minus 6st, so it match. So that's your answer. Okay, let's go to number 19. You have 16 xy to the 4 minus 2x to the 4y. Okay, so step 1, common factor. So 16 and 2, you can factor out the 2. And you got x and x to the 4, you can factor out the x. And you got y to the 4, and the y can factor out the y. Okay, so let's go and see what's left over. So you need to get a, right? You can do the checking. 2 times 8 give you 16. X is gone, so you need to have y to the 3. The 2 is gone, so you're going to get x cubed. Okay. Okay, so this is a cube. Again, if you go through the steps, so that's common factor. And step 2. Okay, so step 2, 2 terms is for square, right? Difference of square. This is cube. So you go to step 3. Okay, and so this is going to be a cube. Now to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to put this 2 to the 3 power. Okay, so that's easier to match. So you got 2xy. So again, to factor out the cube, you're going to get one set of parentheses that's same size as that, and the second one is a little bit bigger because you have more terms. Okay, so again, when you factor the cube, you just get rid of the cube to get the first term. So you can first group. So you got 2y minus x. Okay, that's what you have to do, right? Okay, again, all you just get rid of the cube. Now to get a second one here, you just look it over here, how you're going to get to here, right? So, you can either square that or you can multiply by that, right? So you're going to get 4, right? 2 times 4 give you 8, or 2 squared give you 4. And you need to get y squared, right? Because y times y squared give you y cubed. Or if you square that, you get that. So either way, 2 methods. This one over here, again, you need to get that, you need to plus x squared, right? Negative times positive give you negative. So this is always positive. Okay, so negative times positive give you negative. X times x squared give you x cubed. Or you can square this, right? Negative squared give you plus, x squared give you x squared. So you can do 2 methods. So you can either multiply to get that, or you can square that to get that. Okay, so now again, you have to take the middle. The middle term is opposite of that, because when you distribute, you're going to get a lot of middle term. So take opposite of that. So first you deal with signs, so it'll be plus. Then you got 2xy. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to 21. You have x times y minus 1 plus 2 times y minus 1. Again, step 1, common factor. What do they have in common? The group, right? So you can factor out the group. So you got y minus 1. And the leftover would be just, so again, when you factor it, you take it out, it's gone, right? So it would be x plus 2. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to 23. 23 is very similar, but you have to be careful with 23. You have x times y minus 1 plus 2 times 1 minus y. So now you cannot do it like this over here, because these two are not the same. So notice these are opposite, right? They are, the 2 terms are switched. But because it's subtraction, you cannot just switch the 2 terms. So the way to switch the subtraction is you have to use a negative. So a plus sign, a plus is made out of 2 negatives. So you can break the positive into 2 negatives. Okay. So you can do this step in your head, but I'm just going to write it out so you can see what I'm doing. So break the plus into 2 minuses. Okay. Then I'm going to use one of the minus to switch that. And you can check, right? Negative times 1 is negative 1. Negative times negative y is positive y. Okay. So again, negative is used to switch the subtraction terms. So now you can do like this one over here. You can factor out the y minus 1. So when you factor, it's gone. So it'll be x minus 2. Okay, let's go to number 25. Okay, you got xy plus 2x minus 3y minus 6. So you can go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor. There's nothing to factor out. So you go to step 2. So again, it's going to be one of the 3. Okay, it's going to be either A, B, or C. So you got more than 3 terms, so that's grouping. So when you're doing the grouping, okay, Now, how you know what to group? Normally, you just leave it the way it is. And the trick is this, okay? When you have 4 terms, there are 3 combinations. You can have this group and this group, or you can have this 2 and this 2, or you can have this 2 and this 2, okay? And the key to look for is that the 2 groups will have the same ratio. So if you group these 2, it's fine, because your ratio is 1 to 2, and over here you got, again, this is ratio 1 to 2, right? If you group this is also fine, because your coefficient is 1 to 3, and this is 1 to 3, so this is fine. But this is no good, because this is 1 to 6, and this is 2 to 3. So this is a group is not going to work. So you can either group this way, or group this way, okay? Now, since this is already grouped this way, I'm going to group this way. Now, remember, you always put a plus between the group. Okay, always put a plus between the group. So you got negative 3y minus 6. So basically, you break into a big problem into 2 smaller problems. So now you can go and factor out. So once you break into 2 smaller problems, you have to go back to step 1. Okay? So basically, you're starting all over. You break in a big problem into 2 small problems. So now you go and factor out the x. So you got y plus 2. This one, whenever you have negative, you have to factor out the negative. So you can factor out the negative 3. And so this becomes y plus 2. And you can check, right? Negative 3 times y is negative 3y. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Then from here, you have the y plus 2. So you can factor out the y plus 2. So this is gone. So you got x minus 3. Okay, let's go to 27. You got 2xy minus 2 minus 4x plus y. Okay, so you can do the grouping. So if you group this, you're going to get 1 to 1, but it's going to be 4 to 1. So it's not going to work if you group this way. Okay, so you kind of have to do differently. So if you group this way, you're going to get 1 to 2, but this is 2 to 1. So you have to kind of do a little bit of switching again. Okay. So if you were to group this way, you're going to get 2xy minus 4x. Again, always put a plus between the group. So I'm doing this 2. And then this 2, again, notice the ratio is 1 to 2. So you want to do the 1 to 2. So you want to do it this way. Okay? So again, so that it will match. So you kind of have to look what are their coefficients. So again, this 2 ratio is 1 to 2. I'm not, okay, 1 to negative 2. So 1 to negative 2. So this will work. Okay, so go and factor out the x. So you got 2y minus 2. Y. Factor out the 2. So factor out the 2x. So you got y minus 2 plus y minus 2. Then after that, the y minus 2 can factor out. Now, when you factor, it means you're dividing. So when you factor everything out, you're going to get 1. So you're going to get 2x plus 1. Okay. So if you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to get this back, right? So again, you can distribute. This times I give you that. This times I give you that. Okay, let's go to 29. Okay, so again, go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor cannot. So more than 3 terms, you have to do the grouping. Now, this one, notice there's a square. It's different from this kind. When there's no square, you can do the 2 and 2, right? But when you have a square, you have to look for the perfect squares. So you're going to have the perfect, you're going to have something square minus the square. So the thing you have to look for is minus something square. So minus something square would be by itself. The other one would be the grouping. So you want to do it this way. Okay, and in this case, you don't put a plus in between because you're going to do the difference of square. So keep that way. So there are two common types of grouping. So this one, again, from before, you need to do the perfect square. Okay. So now you have square minus square, right? So this is the difference of square. So you have to go back to do it. Now when you're doing the difference square, always do the grouping first. Okay, do the group. So you're going to get something plus, okay, something minus. So again, all you have to do is just go and get rid of that, right? So that's your a and a b, right? Or x and y. So you're going to get u plus 1, u plus 1. Okay? So the first part goes over here, go in the front. And you're going to get v and a v. Okay? And that's it. Okay, let's go to number 31. Okay, I'm going to do it right over here because it's very similar to this one. So 31, you have u squared minus v squared plus 4u plus 4. So you can notice a minus v squared over here. So you want to have the minus square in the back. So you want to group it this way. So again, you always want you want to group it so that you end up with the difference of square. And so this one will give you u plus 2 squared. Okay. So again, you got to know how to do your trinomial squares. And again, you got difference of squares, so you're going to get the conjugate. Okay. So you're going to get the conjugate. Okay. So first group go in the front, and the second one go in the back. And that's it. Okay, let's go to 33. So you got 4x to the 4 plus 8x to the 2 plus 4. So again, step 1, common factor, factor out the 4. So you get x to the 4 plus 2x plus 1. So now you got 3 terms. Check for the perfect square. So to get x to the 4, you need to get x squared, right? X squared give you 4. And this one, you're going to get plus 1. Then you check the middle term. Okay, plus, check. Okay, they match. 2 times 1 is 2. And then this one is x squared. Okay, so they match. And so that's it. Okay, number 35. You have x to the 6 plus 27. Okay, so step 1 common factor cannot. Step 2 difference of square not yet. So cube, right? So this is a multiple of 3, so it's a cube. So let's go and do it this way. You got x squared to the 3 power plus 3 to the 3 power. Again, you want to make everything to cube. Then you're going to get a small parentheses and a big parentheses. So from here, again, you just get rid of that, right? So you're going to get x squared plus 3. Now to figure out here, again, you can either square that or you can multiply. So you need to have x to the 4. So you square that, you get that. You square that, you get this, right? Or 3 times 9 give you 27. X squared times x4 give you x6. Now, to cancel the middle term, when you distribute, you're going to get a lot of terms. So to cancel that, you just take the opposite. So it'd be minus 3x squared, right? So opposite, so it's minus 3x squared. Okay, let's go to number 37. Okay, you got 81 x to the 4 minus 16. So step 1 common factor cannot. So you go to step 2 perfect difference of square. Yes, this is a difference of square. So to get 81, you're going to get 9 and 9. To get x to the 4, you're going to get x squared, x squared. To get minus, you get plus times minus. You're going to get 4 and 4. Okay. But you have to double check, okay? Notice there's a difference of square again. So leave the first one alone. Okay, leave this one alone. But this one you can factor again. So you're going to get 3x plus minus 2. Okay, and then after that, that's it. Okay, let's go to number 37. Number 39. Okay, number 39, you got a to the 6 minus b to the 6. Now this one you can do both the cube and the difference of square. So make sure you do the step 2 first before you do the cube, or else you're probably going to get stuck and make mistakes. Okay, so first again, step 1, common factor cannot. Step 2, difference of square. So you're going to get a to the 3 plus minus b to the 3, b to the 3. Okay. So now go and factor each one individually. So for this one, you're going to get a. Okay, so you're going to get 2 sets of parentheses. This one you're going to get 2 sets of parentheses. One small, one big. Okay, so the first one, okay, you just get rid of that. So you're going to get a plus b, right? And over here, you square that, you're going to get a squared. You square that, you're going to get plus b squared. And then the middle term is opposite, so it would be minus ab, right? And over here, for the second one, the second cube, okay, again, you just get rid of that, so you get a minus b. And over here, you square that, you get a squared. You square that, you get plus b squared. And the middle term would be opposite, so it would be plus ab, right? So again, you square this, you get that. You square this, you get that. And the middle term just opposite. Okay, let's go to 41. You got z to the 6 plus a to the 3. Again, for this one, you can go through the steps. So this is going to be the cube factoring. It's easier to see, to visualize if you do it this way. Okay, so you can make everything to turn up in terms of cubes. Okay, and then you can have one small parentheses, one big parentheses. Again, to factor the cube, you just get rid of the cube for the first term. So you're going to get z squared plus a. And to do the rest of them, you can just square this. You get z to the 4. Square this, you get plus a squared. Middle term will be just opposite, so it would be minus a z squared. And that's it. Okay, let's go to number 43. Here you got x plus 1 cubed plus 1. Again, go through the steps, step 1, step 2, and this is step 3, the cube. So again, just for visualization, I'm going to put a 3 right over here. Okay? So again, you're going to get 2 sets of parentheses. One is same size as that, the other one is bigger, a little bit bigger. So again, to factor the cube, you just get rid of the cube. Okay? And so for right now, don't worry about simplifying yet. So you're going to get x plus 1 plus 1. Okay? So now you have to square this to get here, right? So you're going to get x plus 1 squared. And then you square this, you're going to get plus 1. The middle term would be opposite of this, would be minus 1 times x plus 1. Okay? So after you're factoring, now you can go and worry about simplifying. So this would be x plus 2. This one over here would be x squared plus 2x plus 1 minus x minus 1 plus 1. Right? So you have to distribute, right? So this becomes x plus 2. And this one, that's going, so this one and this one cancel out. And so you're going to get x squared. Now this one and this one here become plus x plus 1. Okay, and that's it. Okay, okay, let's go to 45. You have x plus y cubed minus x minus y cubed. Okay, so you can step 1, common factor cannot. Step 2, step 3. So this is step 3. So that's going to get one set of parentheses that's same size as that, and get a bigger parentheses. Okay, so again, you always get one that's same size, okay, line up, and one bigger. Okay, so to do this one, again, all you have to do is do this, right? Okay, get rid of the cube. So you're going to get x plus y minus x minus y. Okay, again, don't do anything different. Okay, don't do anything weird. Just do it for now. Okay, so once you do that, to get these, you square this. So you're going to get x plus y squared. So this, so again, you can check, right? This time, 1 power times 2 power give you 3 power, right? Okay, then you're going to get square this. You're going to get plus x minus y squared. Now the middle term would be opposite of this, would be plus x plus y, x minus y, right? So middle term would be opposite of this multiplied together. Okay, so now you're going to start to simplify. So you're going to get x plus y minus x plus y, right? Again, you have to distribute to change your sign. This over here, you're going to get x squared plus 2x plus 2xy plus y squared. Plus, here this is a conjugate, so become difference of square. Okay, so this is over here. This one over here is going to be x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Okay, so now let's go and simplify. So the x cancel out, so I get 2y in the front. Now over here, let's see. Okay, so this one and this one cancel out. The minus y squared plus y squared cancel out. So I get 1, 2, 3. So I get 3x squared plus y squared. Okay. And that's as far as you can go. Okay. The long way to do this is you multiply this everything out and then do the factoring after that, which is going to be a big mess. Okay. So this is a better way to do it.